right, guys, so hopefully you're nice and warmed up. The workout for today, 21st April, Tuesday, in the longest year ever, 2020. We got our strength portion. We're gonna do 5 rounds of this. We're gonna superset back and forth, so you won't do all of one and then all the other. You'll go back and forth. You'll do 15 goblet squats and then 15 RDLs. Now, both of these can be a little different, both in the weight, and the RDL might be a little bit different depending on what you have for the weight itself. So 15 of each, okay? 90 seconds or so rest in between. We're not trying to do this for time, for a fast time. We're trying to do quality, good reps, right? 15, 15, rest 90 seconds, 15, 15, do your 5 total sets. And then we will rest about 3 to 5 minutes. I would say make sure that you're well rested, you're feeling good for our Metcon, which we are trying to move a little faster, right? Within reason, we're always trying to keep control, but now we got 40 of each, 30 of each, 20, and 10 of each, as fast as we can control those movements. So a sumo deadlift high pull is your SDHP, depending on the weight you have, and stuff like that might dictate a little bit of how this work goes. We might even see scaling some reps. If you have an incredibly heavy object, that's fine. Otherwise, 40, 30, 20, 10 should be good. Sumo deadlift high pull, and then our Russian twist. Over and back is 1 rep. Okay, we'll go through that here in just a second. You'll see that at the end of this video. Now to go back through the goblet squats. Depending on what you have, you can hold your kettlebell, dumbbell a bunch of different ways, but basically it's gonna be somewhere in that front rack position. So a couple different ways you can hold this dumbbell, if a dumbbell is your object. And if you have something that is way too heavy for 15 squats, maybe you do 10 squats with the weight, set it down, do the last 5 air squats, right? Otherwise, do your 15 solid quality reps. Always think about the tempo on the way down being controlled. And then again, you're explosive on the way up, right? You're trying to be faster on the way up than you are on the way down, staying under control. Kettlebell, dumbbell, backpack. This would probably be one that you could use a small child for. Not many movements really does that apply to. You could probably squat, holding your dog out in front of you, or holding a kid out in front of you. They're gonna wonder what the heck's going on. With an RDL, we are gonna do 2 legs, and we are gonna have that weight out in front. So there's a bunch of different ways we can do a Romanian deadlift, but today we're gonna have the weight out front. We're gonna have both feet on the ground, so it might be anywhere from about hip width to your squat width stance. Don't go any wider than that squat width. It's definitely not gonna be out to that sumo deadlift stance. You're gonna have a pretty narrow stance. And then from here, Kyle's just gonna do almost a good morning. If Kyle had a band and we were warming up with good mornings, it would look like the same movement. But now that weight is out in front of him, it becomes the tension that his hamstrings and glutes feel instead of the tension in the band. So 15 of these RDLs, again, whatever it may be. If weight is too much, we don't need weight, we can do that. We could use a band. If you have a band at home and you don't have weight, it would be a good substitution. A backpack, anything like that can be used however you can hold it. But again, keeping our legs relatively straight without them being completely locked out. We're not bending the knees to get that weight down, and we're hinging at the hips. We're not rounding our back. It's a couple bad reps I hope you're picking out from Coach Kyle, which is usually a pretty easy thing. If he does a bad rep, you're gonna know, because he does very few of them. So again, you'll go 5 times through that, 15 and 15, rest as you see fit, or if you're following along with one of the Zoom classes, just wait for us to tell you to go again. After that, we've got 40 reps, 30 reps, 20 and 10, fast, but control of a sumo deadlift high pull. Might be the same piece of equipment you have. If you're lucky enough to have a couple different pieces of equipment, find something that you're able to do. Probably, I would say, you want to be able to at least do 10 in a row, but if you're able to knock out 20 to 30 at a time and you have the option to go up heavier in weight, go a little heavier in weight, okay? But sumo deadlift stance, he's much wider with his stance here. He's well outside of his hip width, okay? At least I would say his heels are outside of the width of his hips. Definitely wider than you would feel comfortable squatting. That sumo stance. From here, he's gonna start with deadlift, just like it sounds, sumo deadlift. At the top, he's gonna do a high pull. He wants to pull that kettlebell, and he's showing you range of motion right here, but in the workout, we don't want you necessarily holding that in position. It's just like a pull-up, right? When you do a pull-up, your chin needs to get above the bar, and then you're right back down. You don't hold for any amount of time. So a couple things we notice: weight touches the ground every time. At the top, the kettlebell handle is getting above his collarbone, or right to about his collarbone, but that is not getting above his elbows. His elbows stay higher than that object the whole time, except for these bad reps he's showing. Elbows high and outside, making sure that he's using these muscles on the back side of his shoulders, the back side of his body, and he's not starting to use the smaller muscles and gonna get some impingement or some injury and pain going on there. So sumo deadlift high pull, and then again, it might be the same weight. If you have the object or the option to use multiple different weights, you can. With a dumbbell, it's gonna be a little different for the high pull. aspect of it. That handle is going to be a little odd, I would say. You could almost do this as a single arm if you really had to. If you have a dumbbell and you can't get your hand on it, you could almost do a single arm high pull, almost like a snatch pull that we would do with a dumbbell. So again, we're trying to make sure that we're moving well and that we're challenging ourselves a little bit, but stay in control, getting creative without losing the safety aspect of it. The Russian twist, Kyle's going to be set up down here in kind of half crunch position. We want to keep a lot of the same things in line where I'm not letting that back start to extend at all. You notice he's got a nice straight, flat back, heels on the ground, and he's going to tap that weight from one side to the other. As controlled as he can. Again, this is something that you can go a lot faster than you can control it, and it's not going to help you, right? So if you slow down as fast as you can stay in control, those are pretty good reps if you missed that right there. But stay in control, stay engaged, okay? That time under tension, and each time you go back and forth is 1 rep. So this would be 1, 2, 3. So lots of reps there. But that is your workout for the 21st, Tuesday. Hopefully it is a good one. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We'll be more than happy to text, talk to you, whatever it needs to be to make sure we get you back on track. And then I'm hoping, I think it's going to be soon. We're all back in here very soon.